Hello, welcome to Untapped Libraries, where educators talk about the underuse and underfunding of the public library system. I'm a 1-1 non-legendary human citizen token named Neil.
I'm a 0-1 bird token named Vinny.
Oh, I think you're more of an otter.
Oh yeah, I'm a 1-1 otter with prowess.
Yeah.
Cannot block.
Ooh, you can't block?
Nah, I don't like blocking.
You don't like blocking? Okay.
All gas, no brakes.
Fair enough. I've had the most Canadian day, I think, ever.
Oh.
I had maple syrup on my pancakes.
Yeah, that's pretty Canadian.
And then I went cross-country skiing.
That's Canadian.
And then I watched Heated Rivalry.
That's very Canadian.
Very Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, all at the same time.
Almost.
You were cross-country skiing with your pancakes, and you were watching.
Yep.
You had like a wire hanging off your helmet to watch Heated Rivalry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the most Canadian you could possibly get.
I mean, I think I could... Yeah, I mean, I could be getting free, universal health care at the same time. That's right.
You were in the emergency room
from my skiing
from your skiing accident. Yeah, and you didn't pay anything.
And I didn't pay anything. That's right.
Pretty Canadian. What's new? What's happening?
It hasn't been that long since our last recording.
No. If you listen to the last episode, I still have not yet gone to Toronto.
No.
For the Spotlight series.
We still have made the tokens.
We have made tokens. You've used.
I used the token. I brought it to a game.
Yeah.
I did actually play a Commander game at a LGS that I don't usually go to. And I brought out our little token.
To clarify, we've made these like branded Untapped Library tokens. Yeah. They're like magic card sized.
And what they are is they're like a little tracker. So you have little spots where you can put dice and they're marked for whatever you want to track. I actually don't know exactly where this idea came from. I feel like we can't have been the first ones to do it.
Someone must be having a tracker token.
I've seen floating mana trackers that you put dice on.
Okay.
But I haven't seen like general trackers. So we have one side that's commander
damage
focus. So it's 3 commander damage and then 1 how many times you've cast your commander
casts.
And then the other side is
treasures,
clues,
food,
and
other. Was says one more thing.
Yeah. So if you want one of these tokens,
send us an email.
Yeah, and
if anybody who sends us an email, I will mail them. I will personally buy an envelope and a stamp.
Yes, for sure.
And I will mail it to you.
Yes.
So if you send us an email at untappedlibraries@gmail.com, and you want a token, I will mail you up to, I will say, 50.
Up to 50 people.
The first 50 people to email us.
Have we ever gotten a fan email?
We have gotten 0. So this is my bribe to the public.
Okay, so if you're out there and you're listening, do it, and we'll send you stuff.
Yeah, offer while goods last.
Sounds good. All right, so I think we should call on our guest.
That was plenty of banter.
If there's anyone out there who loves Vintage Cube,
yes,
this is not that.
It's not Vintage Cube. I mean, there's vintage aspects to this cube.
Yeah, and there's reserve list cards for sure.
For sure.
And there's old classic cards.
But if you're looking for the Power 9, this is not the place to find it.
Definitely not.
So what are we talking about, Neil?
So we are talking about...
Only bad cards. It's a cube designed by ManaDad. So let's bring out our guest today, ManaDad. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. I was typing the email so I could get the tokens. I want to be first.
Yeah.
I'll do that after we record, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to go broke on stamps.
Like, oh no, they're introducing me. I didn't get to finish the email.
Yeah, international stamps are going to bankrupt me.
Yeah, bad cards only bad cards. Bad cards cube.
What a great idea for a cube. And so, again, for people who may not be familiar, cube is a set of cards that the cube designer picks from their collection, wherever they want. They get sorted into packs, and then people draft them. But you only drafting cards from the pool that the cube designer has put into the cube, which is what that is called.
Yes, and I think it was right to frame it because a lot of people do think of cube as like the vintage cube or people's personal collection of their most powerful cards. And this is sort of the opposite.
Yes.
We had Anthony Maddox from Lucky Paper on, and he was talking about how cube does not necessarily have to be power-based. You don't have to add a more powerful card just because you can. And this really embraces that whole idea and does the opposite and plays like the worst cards of all time.
This is what I'm here to evangelize is we all have that box of bulk rares and chaff that is sitting there that we're not playing, and there's really good fun cards in there. You just have to have the right environment for them.
Yeah. I get the appeal of playing like, I want to play all the cool
Yeah,
mega
yeah.
cards. There's something fun and powerful about it. But also, that's not the only way to derive the joy of Magic. It's like, oh, how do I make this card work? That could be fun too.
Yeah, how do I make a wood elemental good? Or how do I make Break Open good? Or Path of Sorrow good?
Right.
For people who follow Magic, these are cards that they know, but they probably have never had a chance to cast them.
This is what I found is it's like you got to budget a lot of time for people to read these cards because
Oh, yeah.
these are the forgotten cards of Magic.
Right. So what's the genesis of this?
So the genesis is I'm so glad you have real cube designer and players on before me because I'm by no means a cube expert. But I started out, I loved the Ravnica sets. Been in and out of Magic since Revised, and one of the times I came back in was the original Ravnica era, and then I came back in more recently when we went back to Ravnica for the War of the Spark and the sets before it. So the first cube I ever made was I'm going to put all my Ravnica cards together, and I got to go back to the Ravnica set in the middle that I was out of for and go and kind of like make my own crafted Ravnica set. Then, of course, Wizards released their Ravnica Remastered set, but I still have my Ravnica cube that's curated to be my personal, like, here's my favorite Ravnica stuff. Then the next cube I made was a Halloween cube.
Okay.
So I thought, it'd be fun to take like some Innistrad stuff, some other spooky, scary stuff from throughout Magic's history and do kind of a Halloween themes thing to play around Halloween.
Great idea.
So I did that, and then I was like, okay, what other holidays can I do? I'm like, April Fool's Day. I'm going to do a cube, and I'm going to invite everybody over, and I'm going to say, I got cards from Modern Horizons, reserve list cards, some of the most powerful sets in Magic, some of those old, really powerful sets. I've got this amazing cube that I put together, and I'm going to sit them all down, and then they're going to open these packs, and they're going to start reading the cards, and they're going to, get stuff like, I feel like we should read some of these cards.
I actually think we're going to be doing a lot of reading this
Yes.
episode, because for anyone who didn't play Magic,
Through
especially
these eras.
yeah, like you don't know that cards can get this bad.
Right.
They're almost unbelievable how horrendously bad some of these cards are.
Yeah, let's say, okay, we got a really sweet rare from Invasion here called Alabaster Leech. It's 1 white mana. It's a 1/3 creature. You're thinking, okay, this is
Pretty
above
good rate.
rate. This is great. And there's just a simple line of rules text on it. White spells you play cost white more to play.
Oh my God.
And what's great about it is this was a rare cycle. There is one of these for every color, and this was the rare that you could open in a booster pack.
Wow. And it's not even that good. Like if it was 3/3, you might be like, okay, well, maybe that makes sense.
It's 1/3.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, maybe you're in another color, but
Well, maybe you're really, tribal typo leech.
yeah.
You really need the
You
linchpin
really
for this.
just
That
need
deck.
you
Yeah,
really,
someone thought this would be a great idea for a card, and a whole cycle of them.
Yeah, you're getting
One
that
of the-
extra 2 toughness, and then you're miserable for the rest of the game because all your white spells cost extra.
Yeah. What's great about Magic is like back in the early days, the expression is like the creatures are terrible and the spells are amazing because they just didn't know how to cost things, or they did know how like, oh, this is going to be powerful. But like right at the very beginning, they just assumed the scarcity of it would handle a lot of the rarity issues. As they slowly got better, they, a modern set is like balanced. The cards are playable. Even the bad cards are like, okay, I could see a case where I would want this in limited.
Yeah.
Whereas early on, they're like, I had an idea for a card. This is what I think it should cost. They did it.
Totally. You sometimes read these cards and you just wonder, what were they thinking?
I just imagine someone going like, oh my gosh, a 1/3 for 1 mana. This is way too powerful. We need to like nerf this in some way. But then some of the cards you're like another classic here that I love. I've never cast one, and I would love to cast one day is Wood Elemental, which is a 4 mana green elemental creature. Oh my gosh. As Wood Elemental enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of untapped forests.
Untapped. So you
Untapped.
can't have cast it.
Oh my, like someone was like, oh, this is broken if they can tap the mana and then sack the forest they
You
just
gotta have
paid.
the restriction of untapped.
Wood Elemental's power and toughness are equal to the number of forests sacrificed as it enters the battlefield. So if you pay essentially 4 mana for this and sack 1 forest that's untapped, basically paying 5 mana,
and a land.
And you sacrifice a land, you get a 1/1.
Yeah. It starts at 1/1.
Unbelievable. I want to cast one day.
It's definitely a card you want to sack all your land to.
I would love to see somebody cast this. This is a great example of cards that are in this cube, in an environment designed to play bad cards, and they're still probably unplayable.
Yes. And I love that it's specifically untapped force. It's not untapped lands.
No. That would be busted.
You nearly need to be in like mono green. So, ManaDad, what are some of the highlight cards that you've been putting in? Or like cards you're like, oh, this definitely needs to go in my bad cards?
I've made a pick one, pack one for us.
Okay.
If we want to look at this is just randomly generated by Cube Cobra, and I recommend anybody who just wants to poke around the cube, go in to the playtest section and just look at some of these packs. And imagine you're sitting down and you're trying to assemble a functional deck out of these packs. So you've got
just a real quick recap for people who might not know. Cube Cobra is the website for people who design cubes, and you can find this cube. It's called Only Bad Cards by ManaDad.
Yes. Cube Cobra, they're awesome. So like the first card here is Last Breath.
I'm looking through this P1. This is pack 1. This is terrible.
And we have removal in this cube.
Yep.
There's ways to interact. Removal in general and limited is good. You can't shy away from that. Probably a lot of the top picks in a pack are going to be removal. So let's look at this piece of removal here. This is 1 and a white. It's an instant.
Yep.
And it says, remove target creature with power 2 or less from the game.
Okay.
Pretty good exile. Yeah.
And then its controller gains 4 life.
Okay.
So it's sort of,
not completely unplayable.
Not completely unplayable. It's not Swords of Plowshares, though. I'll tell you that.
No, it's not great. It's a very limited card here.
We got Cocoon, which is an enchant creature aura. It just only costs 1 green. That's a steal.
That's a very affordable.
Tap target creature you control. Put 3 charge counters on Cocoon. If there are any charge counters on Cocoon, the creature does not untap. We're locking our own creature down, so this is going to be it's going to have to be a really good
it's going into a cocoon.
Payoff for this.
The payoff is going to be great, right?
It goes into a cocoon, it turns into a slurry, and then it comes out as something. Which
you can see the stop motion of the head moving around and all the body parts.
Right. So what do we get for our cocoon?
So each upkeep, we're removing that cocoon counter, waiting for it to emerge, and when it finally emerges, we put a +1/+1 counter on the creature, and it gains flying.
Oh, for 3 turns, you don't get your creature.
Oh my gosh!
To get a +1/+1 counter.
Yes.
And flying.
And then we bury Cocoon. Yeah. We put Cocoon in the graveyard.
Amazing.
Did its job.
There's so many terrible cards in this pack. They're like truly bad cards. Like this one. What is this? Trenching Steed? What? Sorry, I need to zoom.
You jumping? Okay, we're jumping to Trenching Steed.
I'm jumping around, because I don't think we'll have time to go through the whole pack. So like Trenching Steed is a white and 3 for a 2/3. Already not great. It's a rebel. Maybe rebels are good. Sack a land. It gets +0/+3.
Wow. I mean, maybe if you're playing the right archetype, sacking a land could be.
It's a free land sacrifice outlet.
Yeah. It could be broken.
Like, what would be your pick 1 out of this, Neil?
Last Breath, I guess, is no. This is actually like a big thing that we could talk about the deck, is that it is really hard to make a choice.
It is hard to make a choice because everything is quite bad. Maybe I'm picking Phyrexian Hulk, which is a 6 mana artifact creature, 5/4. That's not insane.
Not the worst.
It's not the worst because there's a lot worse cards in this pack that you've designed for us.
Yeah, what I've been told is that for this kind of low power environment, like just picking based on stats is actually a really good strategy, and that's sort of been the experience when I've play tested it. So yeah, Phyrexian Hulk.
Not bad. Not the worst.
You can make that work. 6 mana, 5/4.
Sure. That 5/4 is the real threat when Last Breath is your removal.
Yeah. Also, one in this deck I really like is Archangel's Light, an 8 mana sorcery that says gain 2 life for each card in your graveyard, then shuffle your graveyard into your library.
Yeah.
So this is a card apparently that's quite legendary for being what many people consider the worst mythic ever printed.
Oh, it's a mythic.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
many
yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
apparently open this in their pack and they see mythic and then they read the card and they were just crushed
Yeah.
to get an 8 mana gain some life card.
Like, not even gain that much life. Even if you're milling yourself like crazy, you'd be lucky, I feel, to gain. I mean, maybe 20 life seems like would be quite a lot. And that's fine, but not 8 mana fine.
I think one of the things is like some of these cards are just ridiculously expensive for what you're getting out of it. Like Cocoon, like, the mana cost is not expensive, but you are sending your creature away for 3 turns to basically put a +1/+1 counter and get flying. That's ridiculous. However, what's really cool is that some of these cards, they're not bad in cost-wise or effect-wise. They're just so incredibly niche, which is like Arkham's Weathervane, one of the cards in this pack. 2 mana for an artifact. 2, tap. Target snow-covered land becomes non-snow-covered land. Or 2, tap. Target non-snow-covered basic becomes a snow-covered basic. And then you mark it with a counter permanently.
Oh, it's forever.
Yeah, it stays either. So basically, you really need to have something that cares about snow basics.
Do you have Arkham Slay in this?
We
in this
do
game?
have some
Oh,
snow
yeah.
some
Okay,
snow-based
okay.
sub theme in the deck. But again, it's the bad snow cards. I love snow as an archetype. You know, I love drafting Kaldheim and stuff. But this is the bad snow cards.
This is amazing. Yeah, Arkham Slay is in here. 1 mana, artifact, 2, tap. Target creature gains vigilance. You cannot use it if the defending player controls no snowflake.
Hey,
No
we
cover
got a
land.
little
you
combo
need that.
here going.
You got an Arkham's deck going.
You gotta enable your Arkham Slay.
So you've played this cube. What is your pick one through this?
Well, I hate to say it, Vinny, but you nailed it with Phyrexian Hulk for me. I'm going stats if I'm trying to win.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm doing
also-
something fun, Archangel's
Yes.
Light is actually a really good one because what seems like kind of trinket text, shuffle your graveyard into your library. In this format, that's a legitimate strategy. You can try to win through deck
Right.
damage, but it's like it's
interesting.
not like mill deck damage. It's not like your traditional mill archetype in a cube. This is like attrition.
You know the games are going to go long, so getting to 8 mana is like.
What are you talking about, Neil?
Yeah.
Getting to 8 mana is going to happen for sure.
People are casting their Colossus of Sardia. They're casting their
Right.
Aladdin's Lamp. This is the format for those cards that cost a ton, and you can actually play them.
It's amazing. For people who want to do their own pick one,
Yeah,
we will post this image to our untappedlibraries.com site for the post.
I almost want to choose Terminal Moraine as my pack one pick one.
Okay.
Even though it does almost nothing, it's just like the only card I could see myself playing in any deck.
It's
Terminal
great
Moraine.
fixing. That's a great pick one.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's a land, tap, add a colorless mana. 2, tap, sack it, search your library for a basic, put it into play tapped.
Not that bad.
You know, before Evolving Wilds came along, this was your option.
Yeah, and it comes in untapped, which is a bonus.
This does, but
This
the land
does.
you get comes into play tapped.
Yes, sure. Yeah. But you can use this as a colorless if you want.
Yeah.
People play the cube and then they go, oh, I could fit this into my weird commander deck. I can see the edge case for this particular card. So it's a great way to just kind of explore some of these weird forgotten cards and go, oh, here's a hidden gem.
When you're building this deck, are you like, oh, I remember this terrible card, I'm going to put it in? Or are you like actively seeking like, hey, what are some terrible cards in Magic? Or you're just going through your collection and being like, why would I ever use this?
I really didn't understand what I was taking on when I started this cube because I thought, oh, I'll just, I'll grab a bunch of stuff from my bulk. I'll look up, some people must have made lists online of the worst cards ever printed. I'll, grab some of those. Bing, bang, boom, I've got a cube. And it really has been like a years-long process. Many April Fool's Days have come and gone as I assembled this cube. And because I started sort of just reading through on Scryfall, I do, original cards by year and just start reading through and pulling out cards like, oh, that card is terrible. Let me, put that on a list and put that on a list. And then I just had lists and long lists of all these cards. I would go through bulk at various, local LGS game stores and pull out stuff that was interesting. I bought lots on eBay because I figure, oh yeah, the bulk lots on eBay, that's somebody's already sifted it down to cards that are completely valueless.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I gathered big pile of cards and paper. I had big lists of stuff on Cube Cobra as possibilities. And then I had to sit down and go, okay, how do I get this down to something manageable that I can bring and transport? So it's 690 cards currently.
Wow.
It's my top 100 picks for each color. And for the non-land colorless, they've got sort of 100 cards for each of those categories. For the gold cards, I wanted at least 2 from each 2-color pair to represent, and 1 from each 3-color wedge shard. And I have 1 5-color card, which is Meeting of the Five.
Mm-hmm.
To get to a evenly divisible by 15 number, I have 59 of the terrible most worst lands.
Mm-hmm.
That is the structure of the cube.
Were any of these cards hard to find?
Yes.
Because, yeah, I see you have, like, Legends cards. Are there proxies, or do you actually, like, went out of your way to get the actual cards?
Everything is an actual card.
Amazing.
And, I had a few Legends cards in my collection from when I was a kid, but I did not have stuff like North Star, which is a 4-mana artifact. So once you pay that 4, then you can pay 4 and tap it. And then you may cast 1 spell this turn by paying its casting cost with any type of mana. For example, 2 green becomes 4 generic.
Wow. So you need to have a lot of extra mana just to fix your mana a little bit.
It's basically a great color filter for 8 mana.
Wow.
I guess you get to keep the artifact. You do not have to sacrifice it. I mean, you also have, like you said, Meeting of the Five, which is, it's 1 of each color. It's 8 mana. It's 3 and 1 of each color. And then you exile top 10 cards of your library. You cast spells with exactly 3 colors from among them this turn, which I don't think you have a lot of. I think you said you had 1 of each, so there's like 10 in the whole cube.
Yeah.
And then you get to add 2 of each mana. You get 10 mana. And you can only use that mana to cast things with 3 colors, which is not a great card. Again, not a great mythic that you particularly want to open up in your pack. And this is from Streets of New Capenna.
Yeah.
This is not an old card. This is like a recent card.
And if anybody played that format, I know so many people who tried to make that card work, and that was a format built around 3-color cards, and it just missed. It just missed in that format.
Yeah.
And so where does it live? It lives here in the graveyard, in the archive of terrible cards.
It's this cube is basically the Razzies of Magic.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's got great Dominic Mayer arts. I like the art anyways.
Yeah, did you ever make some choices based on art?
Yeah, so I
For
decided,
specific versions, yeah.
As I was trying to conceptualize the cube, I decided as a card, you get bonus points for bad art.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to be very clear, like, I'm not an artist. Anybody who has ever done card art for a Magic card is a far better artist than I am.
Right.
And I love, especially some of the older art where it's like clear the artists, they weren't paid very much. They're doing the level of quality of work commensurate to what they were getting paid.
Sure.
And I still love that, and I have a lot of fondness for that style of art. But there is some really derpy stuff, like Forest Bear. I could have put in Grizzly Bears. It's Forest Bear is 1 and a green for a vanilla 2/2. But we've got this crazy derpy bear just like jumping, at you out of the picture.
It looks like the Forest Bear was driving and then got a flat tire.
and he's flagging. He's
waving
waving with both hands for help.
He's
Like,
hey.
please pull over and help me with my flat car.
Yeah,
It's a common sight in Canada, I'm
Do you
sure.
have a jack?
That's right.
I need a jack.
Yeah. He's like trying to keep you out of his stay away.
Yeah.
It's like, do not enter.
Or
I've spilled some honey.
You walked in while he was going to the bathroom, and he's like,
No,
"Whoa,
someone's in here.
whoa!"
Yeah, I think it's the Three Kingdoms version of the card.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
And so that's actually one of the
Forest
most expensive cards in the cube, but I've gone the extra mile to put it in.
Yeah.
Ancient Runes is a favorite of mine for the art. There's a guy, there's like a pink laser shooting him in the butt, and he's like, and the laser's coming out of some kind of carved totem or something, or maybe they're in a cave, and then there's like a lady looking over her shoulder like, yeah.
Very pleased that he's getting zapped in the butt.
My butt zapping tombstone trick worked.
It's actually not the worst card. It's during each player's upkeep, Ancient Runes deals 1 damage to that player for each artifact
they control. Yeah, that's actually
not the worst.
It really punishes your Arkham Slay, Arkham's.
Yeah. Your whole Arkham combo.
If you're running Arkham's full Arkham set, your Ancient Runes tech is going to destroy them.
Definitely. There's a lot of these are famous, like Ebon Praetor. There's apparently some kind of weird, Venetian plague mask guy marrying a rabbit and a demon and
the old Fallen Empires art.
Like
they're sacrificing a merfolk, I think. I actually really like the art on this one, but I like more abstract, weird art. Like, I love Stasis. I think it's great art, but I often see it as like one of the worst arts of all time. Ebon Praetor, I actually don't mind the art. It's weird, but
it's great. It makes you wonder, right? What's going on?
Yeah,
there's a story. Yeah, the giant bunny is really messing me up.
I also feel like people at Magic, they have no idea what the story is either.
Artist. What's the art direction text that was sent to the artist? They're like, just go nuts.
Yeah.
We want to wait until you have a fever before you make the art for this card.
I want to look like it's inside someone's intestines.
Yeah. Amazing. Some of these cards are just wild.
I mean, I love Blistering Barrier, which is like a weird guy taking a bath inside somebody's mouth where there's flames outside.
Great art elicits a reaction, and Blistering Barrier elicits a reaction from me.
Some of the art is actually some of the cards are actually quite cool. Like Elder Spawn has like great art. The blue 3 blue spawn. Elder Spawn cannot be blocked by red creatures. Sacrifice one of your islands during upkeep, or it does 6 to you and then dies. But with that red against the old blue frame, like that's a really cool look. And it's on the reserve list. So you have cards that you wouldn't imagine or don't really think about that are on the reserve list.
By my count, there are 52 cards from the reserve list.
The reserve list,
wow.
Right.
In this cube.
Right.
And it's stuff like I just had discovered this, like a Brushwag. I'll be able to pick that up, no problem. It's like, no, actually, that's a reserve list card.
Oh, is it?
I got a special order.
Wow! I can't believe that's reserve list. I guess you got to protect people's Brushwag investments. And some of these cards are awesome, just like historically, like Princess Lucretia from Legends, 5/4, 3 black, 2 blue. So 3 black, blue, 6 mana for a 5/4. So it's a legend. So you can only have one of these in your deck.
Right, it's a downside.
Back in the day.
It's a downside, not an upside.
It's tap, add a blue mana. It's the multicolor Llanowar elf for blue.
Wow. So your giant expensive creature is just tapping for one.
Yeah, it's your 6 mana ramp.
That's what I love so much. I mean, it's also got in the art a giant floating head just looking out over this weird landscape. Just the idea that you've spent all this mana for the 5/4, and then you're just gonna, instead of block with it, you're gonna tap it for a blue mana.
Yeah.
I also love the idea this is one of the first multicolor cards.
Yes.
They're treating it like it's an upside that it's harder to cast. That should be a downside.
It's like, all right, look, we're going to make a blue card. It can finally, green has Llanowar Elves. We want to give blue its Llanowar Elf.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is make it cost 6. 2 of them are going to be blue, but for some reason, we're going to mess with everybody and throw in a black mana pip in there.
Yeah.
And there's a wombo combo with Princess Lucretia in this.
Oh?
In Legends, there are these lands that don't tap for mana, that give legends of a certain color bands with other legends. So to represent
do you have
that,
one in here?
We have Unholy Citadel. All your black legends game bands with other legends. So you can have your Princess Lucretia team up with another legend.
I mean, to be fair, that costs 0. You just drop that land and you paid 0 mana for it.
Wow.
Don't count it as your 17 lands.
No, count it as your 17.
We've had some arguments about whether it's correct to play 18, 19, 20 lands in this cube.
That is legit, because everything's so powerful.
Because everything's so bad. A land is much better than whatever you were going to put in instead.
100%, especially if you're sacking them to wood elemental.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the most generically powerful card in this set?
Yeah, what would you say is the actual best card?
Like the one that
cube?
you almost need to cut because it's too good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is a great question. There's a card that's springing to mind. Let me find it here. In a card evaluation limited sense, you want a 2-for-1. Usually, it's a really powerful and limited. You want something that gives you 2-for-1. There's a lot of cards in this that are like the opposite. Like you have to spend an extra card.
2 cards for this.
But there are a couple cards in this cube that are actual 2-for-1s. The one that's springing to mind, let me find it. It's a green sorcery. It's going to bring back 2 cards at random from your graveyard for 2 green. So
it's a 2-for-1 for sure.
It's a 2-for-1. Regrowth it is not.
No.
You have a card in here from Final Fantasy, which is one of the newest cards that I've seen, which I actually don't think is a bad card, but it has a funny name, which is Commune with Beavers, which you look at the top 3 cards and you put an artifact, creature, or land. Just a little fixer, one of these little, like, you are card neutral on it. I don't think that's like a horrible card, but I guess the name maybe helps get it in there.
It's really, it's that you've nailed it, because it really is not bad, and there's the whole lot of that kind of card in green.
Yeah.
It's actually not the worst of that style of card, but to me, it's really funny to play a card called Commune with Beavers.
Yes.
So
yeah,
it's in.
Sure.
And I hope as Canadians you can appreciate that as well.
Definitely do. You do have also a great 2-for-1 in black here. Skull Tap, a black and 1. Sack a creature, draw 2 cards. Pretty great,
Whoa.
except it's a sorcery.
Yeah.
So you cannot do it in response. You actually have to kill a creature that is not dying to draw these 2 cards. But technically a 2-for-1.
That's right. And, there was a conscious thing of like putting in very common effects that you see all the time in Magic.
Right.
But like the worst version of that effect.
Worst version of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have like the green kill a flying creature, but it's like 3 mana, sorcery speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have some direct damage in green here with Unyaro Beasting. Green and 3, deal 2 damage to any target. Sorcery. Amazing. Deal 2 for 4 as sorcery speed in green.
I love that card.
It's the epitome. Plus it has 2 giant bees like harassing a lady.
Not to break in here, I don't think Skull Tap is a 2-for-1 because you lose the card and you lose a creature.
Right.
And you draw 2.
You do have to spend the card in hand, so it's a 2-for-2.
Yeah, it's kind of a 2-for-2. Anyway, sorry.
And one of the things that's come up in playtesting too is because it is a slower format, having stuff that lets you cycle away cards and gives you a little bit of card filtering and card motion and everything really helps a lot.
Yeah, you get to see more bad cards.
Yes.
Do you try to balance it for spells, creatures? Is it like, I put all spells in green or all creatures in white or something?
Yeah, definitely. That's been part of my editing process of like going through and going, okay, white has a lot of creatures here. Let's get white some more spells. Let's kind of explore the space of bad cards as fully as I can, and I would love to get feedback after this goes out. People tell me like, okay, my favorite bad card is not in here. Send it to me, because as thorough as I've tried to be going through every card in the history of Magic, there are a lot of cards. It's easy to overlook some of these. Some of these, they read like good cards until you get to the very last line. And then you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a second. Yeah.
You've definitely got some cards in here that I've never seen before, like Stoic Ephemera. A white and 2 for 5/5. Defender, for that cause.
Yeah.
Flying Defender, 5/5 for 3. Great. When it blocks, sack it at the end of combat.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
These read like joke. And this one looks like is it a rare or uncommon? I can't tell with the color of it.
So yeah, in a similar vein, there's Zephyr Spirit, which has
uncommon.
like 10 out for 10 art. I think the art is like incredible. It's a 6 mana 0/6, and they're like, this is too strong. We need to give it a downside. When it blocks, return it to its owner's hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
It can never die. You always get to have that creature in hand to cast.
Almost 10 years before this card, there was a 0/6 with a downside that cost 0 mana, which is Shield Sphere.
Right.
that you don't have to cast every turn. It does get smaller.
It does get smaller.
But it's literally 0 mana.
But this one's a spirit, so it's
right.
You can put it in your spirit decks.
And if you have something that says when you cast a creature spell, draw a card, you're drawing a card every turn because you're spending your 6 mana every turn to play. Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh.
And so I'm going to assume you've played this a few times. Like, how do these games roll out? Like, what's happening? Is it like everyone just building up mana for turn after turn?
Well, what's funny about the playtest is it's like I was worried we even needed to play the games because the experience is almost the draft.
Yeah.
People are just, they're laughing at the cards. They're going, oh, look at this art. They're having a lot of reactions to the cards, and they're chuckling because they're passing something to the next person, being like, you can't wait till you see this. And people are trying to like work their magic brains almost in reverse because so many of these cards are so bad compared to what your baseline is.
Right.
That it becomes this almost like mental challenge of like, can I figure out how to build something that works out of what I'm getting past here?
Can I turn this pile of garbage into a functioning machine?
Yeah. And people really picked up on the deck damage, the sort of attrition strategy. There's little cards seeded in throughout for that. That was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are certain cards that are just fun, like Liege of the Hollows, where that came out, and it just became almost like a mini game of like, this is a card that when it dies, it makes squirrels. So some people might know it from like squirrel decks. We had Bloomburrow not too long ago, and this is a reserve list card too. Let me find it here.
Here it is. I got it. It's if it goes to your graveyard, each player may pay any amount of mana and put that many 1/1 squirrels into play.
Amazing. And it's a 3/4 for 4 mana. That's not
Yes.
horrendous.
So it became this like mini game between these two players of like having that mana up for when it died, like trying to figure out, and then making a bunch of squirrels, and then they had like a squirrel off, and they had a great time just with this one card, Liege of the Hollows. Another one that we found out is like some players really enjoy the coin flip stuff, the randomness. Some people are like, I am a lucky person. I know that, flipping a coin to maybe get a 5/5 flyer or maybe take some damage from Bottle of Suleiman. It's a 4 mana artifact. You pay 1, you flip a coin, opponent calls heads or tails. If the flip ends in opponent's favor, you're taking 5 damage and the bottle's going bye-bye. Otherwise, you get a 5/5 flying Djinn, which is pretty good.
That's not terrible. Yeah, for 4 and 1.
So I had a player, he's like, I'm lucky. Every time I flip Bottle of Suleiman, I got that Djinn. I won the game. This Bottle of Suleiman is OP. It's not a bad card.
Mm-hmm. Until someone else takes it and they're taking 5 to the face. I was going to suggest it until you, and like I'm sure you'd heard of it, but then I saw it was in the deck, Apocalypse Chime, which is an artifact for 2. 2, tap, sack it, bury all cards from the Homelands expansion.
Oh.
Which is, I love they used to make, there's like a couple of these cards, but the Homelands one, but you do have some Homeland, like you've got Arena Sengir, you've got some of the lands that are from that set. I love that you did put Homelands cards in here.
I'm so glad you pointed this out. Homelands is legendarily
terrible.
What many people consider the worst set ever.
Yes.
So I definitely wanted Homelands well represented in the cube. It's not super scientific, but I did try to add up like how many cards I have from each set.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like classic bad sets, Alliances 11 cards, Cold Snap 11 cards, Judgment 11, Scourge 11, Time Spiral 11, The Dark 12, Invasion 12, Fallen Empires 13.
Okay.
Ravnica has pretty good representation here, 14 for, a modern border set. Onslaught 16, Tempest 17, Visions 19, Ice Age 19, Prophecy, I think that maybe sometimes rivals Homelands in people's minds is the worst set, 22, Mercadian Masks 23,
Yep.
Legends 26, Mirage 27, Odyssey 29, but the winner, the champion in the Bad Cards Cube, is Homelands with 31 cards. So that Apocalypse Chime actually hits a good swath of cards. It's a
Yeah,
good
no
sideboard card.
kidding. No kidding. That's incredible. So niche. So they would never print that now because it's limited. It would be disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
One of the things that I think is also funny is how time has changed some of the context with these cards. So you have Balduvian Horde in here, which was originally printed in Alliances. For 2 and 2 red, you have Creature, Human, Barbarian. It's 5/5. He's a 5/5 for 4. And the downside is you have to sack it or you discard a card at random. So you lose a card at hand, but you get a 5/5 for 4 mana. Mm-hmm. And at the time it was printed, I remember this card being like, this is the bomb. This was used extensively in competitive decks. It was an expensive card. However, time has not been kind to our poor friend, the Balduvian Horde. And it now finds itself in an only bad card scheme, which I think is amazing.
You know, it might be unfair to Balduvian Horde. One of my rubrics was like, if people have nostalgia about it, a card is a good card. And, you know, one of the cards I cut was Serrated Arrows. Because a lot of people have fond memory. I think of that like now in current context as a terrible card.
Yep.
You know, 4 mana to put a -1/-1 counter each turn for 3 turns on something. Just really abysmal. But a lot of people have fondness for that. So I took it out of the bad cards cube. And Balduvian Horde, I think, is on the bubble too, because there is a lot of good, positive vibes coming from that Horde.
What would you say was the hardest card to acquire for this cube?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I talked about Brushwag because that was one I thought I had one maybe. Like, I didn't realize this is a reserve list rare.
I thought that would be like a 30-cent card.
Yeah, I thought for sure, like, oh, that's just, you know, one of these cards I'll find in a bulk bin somewhere, no problem. The Forest Bear I had to special order. Let me look at the more expensive ones, I think, are the sort of North Star. I have a friend, he's got a big Legends collection, but he didn't have it, so I had to order that one. Those were like some of the harder ones to find. There's certain ones, Blazing Hope. So
I have to look up every card.
Yeah, every card we've said so far, I've had to look up. And so for our dear listeners,
but so Blazing Hope, 1 white, instant speed. It's from an Ixalan set. I think this is Rivals of Ixalan. Exile target creature with power greater than or equal to ... your life total.
Oh my gosh.
The power of the creature has to be more than your life total.
Oh my gosh. What a...
So it's phenomenal.
Again, not quite source the flash.
It's going to feel really good when you use it, though.
Well, you're panicking because your life total is going to be not great.
I don't know how many bulk bins I dug through to try and find this card. Just for whatever reason, somebody in my local area must love this card or something. I could not find a copy of Blazing Hope. It took me a long time to get a copy of that one. And that's Magic collecting.
Hopefully it's in some kids' like bike spokes.
It's just an uncommon from a set that came out, probably 2018 or something, not that long ago.
So I have a question. So one of my favorite horrible cards is Break Open. Break Open is 1 and a red for an instant. Turn target face down creature and opponent controls face up. That's almost always bad. Usually a generic 2/2 isn't going to be as good as whatever is on the other side of the face down creature. You can't do it on your own creature. It has to be on an opponent's creature. That card just seems unplayable even in this environment.
You know, that card is for people who cannot deal with not knowing things.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's almost like an existential card. It's like, I cannot stand not knowing what your morph is. I must know.
Yeah, regardless.
I will spend mana and a card just to find out.
You also have a card, great bad card. I've actually almost put this in like a mana value matters deck. Scornful Egotist, 7 and a blue.
Yep.
For a 1/1, but it has morph 1, so you can play it as a 3-drop and then pay 1 to flip it over.
I am going to defend that card because that set did have a casting cost matters theme to it. So it made sense in the environment that it was printed
and I think wizards matter too in that set.
Yeah, yes, wizards matter. The whole scornful, that whole tribal typal thing was was a thing.
When my son was building a Yuriko deck, I was like, maybe it's in the maybe pile because 8 mana is not the worst, but it's still not
too
good
bad.
enough. Yeah. If it had cycling or something like that, it would be
Yeah, every time I think of a card that I was like, oh, this would be terrible, and you've got it. Like Teferi's Isle, one of my favorite terrible lands, legendary land, phasing, so it's only in play every other turn. Comes into play tapped. You cannot use it the turn it comes into play.
Wait, so the first
then
turn
it phases
it's
out.
tapped.
Yeah, and then
the next turn
it
it's
phased out, and then the next turn you can use it. So in turn 3 after you played it, you can tap it for 2 blue mana.
Oh my god!
And then guess what? Next turn, cannot use it again.
Amazing.
So on the first 4 turns, you can only use it once.
I'm like, is there even like a good? You have a combo that you need an extra mana for that you know you're going to cast on turn
maybe
4?
if you have enchantments that allow it to not come into play tapped, and you can bounce it every turn. Like, yeah, you really have to work to make this card. You even halfway playable.
You cast Armageddon while it's phased out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there are things in this cube like Apocalypse where you're destroying all the permanents.
Oh, the red sorcery?
Yeah.
Remove all permanents from the game, discard your hand.
Part of the design was like, I don't want any card to be absolutely 100% useless.
Right.
Like it should be bad because it's a bad card, not because I haven't like supported it. Yeah. You know, so like an alternate win condition in this cube combo, which was originally the cheese stands alone, the uncard, and then they printed it as a non-uncard called Baron Glory. Are you guys familiar with this card?
Yeah.
Yes.
4 white enchantment. You win the battlefield basically if you have nothing in your hand and nothing else on the battlefield.
So is that doable? Like
that is doable. There's a couple ways to do it. One of the ways is I put in a card from the Doctor Who set called the Pandorica, which phases something out as long as it's tapped.
Okay.
So you can phase out the enchantment. Then you use Apocalypse, which is, you're going to really have to stretch for the mana.
Right.
Which destroys everything, and you have to discard your hand.
Yep.
It's also a great use of 1 with nothing, right? You have to discard your hand for 1 mana.
Oh, of course. Classic.
So you can combine that with something else that's destroying all the permanents or just not playing permanents to the board, right? Have something you can sack all your lands to and then destroy that.
Amazing.
With that on the stack. So it is possible to do.
Okay.
That's the important thing.
This is incredible. What a great list. Yeah, just looking through these cards, I'm like, oh, I remember this card. It was terrible. And it still is. It's even worse. The time has gone by. This is super work.
Yeah. Another great one. I was like, every once in a while I'll find a bad card and I'll be like, how do I make this work in a deck? You have a classic bad card, Sorrow's Path. It's a land. It's also a word maze. Land, it doesn't tap for mana. You tap it, choose 2 target blocking creatures an opponent controls. If each of those creatures could block all creatures that the other is blocking, remove them both from combat. Each one then blocks all creatures the other was blocking. So it basically switches blockers. You're like, that doesn't seem that bad until you keep reading. And it says, whenever Sorrow's Path becomes tapped, it deals 2 damage to you and each creature you control. Man, if it didn't have the each creature you control, I could almost, like, I have a Darien commander deck that's trying to damage yourself. And it's really like, it loves playing anything
that does damage to you.
Yeah, like I just put in Tarnished Citadel in it. And it does nothing for my mana fixing, but it taps and does 3 damage. It's great. Except it's a token deck, so dealing 2 damage to each creature I control is going to kill basically my whole board.
Well, I mean, when you're designing this card and you're like, well, I want to make something that swaps 2 blocks.
It'll be pretty strong.
And make sure, you don't want to make them do an illegal block. So you got to check that they're legal.
Yep.
And then you're like, well, that seems ridiculously powerful. How about it does a pyroclasm to just you?
Just you, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And this is the same set. This is the dark where we had Maze of Ith, which is just a
equally
staple
balanced
to this day of dealing, with an attacking creature. But Sorrow's Path was and still is just an incredible miss.
Amazing. I mean, just looking through this list, I mean, we could be here all day. What are your thoughts for the future for this cube? Like, what's next, if anything?
So I've sort of only just sort of gotten it to the point where I feel like, okay, this is my list. I'm going to tinker with it from here, but this is it. So I've only done play tests leading up to this, but I would really love to get this in front of more players and continue experimenting with it and get more feedback on it, because there are cards in there. Maybe Balduvian Horde is just too good.
Right, right. Maybe surely there's something worse. Well, this is a fantastic creation. I'm really impressed. I would love to draft this, and I think you're right. I think drafting it is going to be way more fun than perhaps playing it.
Yeah. I'd actually want to know what is the most number of turns that a game with this cube has gone, because it definitely feels like it could go pretty high.
It was probably at least 50 or something. Like,
yeah, you got to time these games. You got to time these games.
I was trying not to be strict on round timing, like let people play stuff out.
Right.
And as long as people were having fun with it.
Right.
Vintage Cube, I really liked it because I've never cast a Black Lotus before. I've never cast a Tinker before. I've also never cast most of the cards in this cube. So
yeah. For the same reasons, it's equally fun.
I would be very happy to cast a Wood Elemental and then die to a Brushwagger or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, if you came and casted a Wood Elemental, that would just be so. Like, I would just be talking about that for weeks. So, like, I saw a game where somebody actually sacked 5 forests to cast a Wood Elemental, and then it just went the distance and slammed in.
And it was exactly what they needed to win the game, and they tapped their Wood Elemental.
Can you think of the bragging rights of, like, is there a better play
than
winning with a Wood Elemental?
Oh, no. I would dine on that story for years.
I almost feel like the way that video games have achievements, I feel like you could have like little cards for this deck that's like achievements unlocked.
Yeah. Destroying 5 cards with Apocalypse Chime, or tapping Princess Lucretia for mana. Okay, well, we do need to wrap this up. Anything that we forgot to ask, or anything else that you want to mention about this cube that we didn't get to?
I really appreciate just letting me talk about it, because I've been sitting in bulk bins and in my attic going through cards for so many years, and I'm really excited to share it with people. I want to leave people with one card if I can.
Sure.
Yeah.
Crypt Cobra. It's a card from Mirage, 3 and a black for a 3/3.
Cool.
Poison counter is one of my favorite mechanics. One of the great classic Magic mechanics. 3/3. If Crypt Cobra attacks and is not blocked, defending player gets a poison counter.
Okay, pretty good.
But then you think, okay, but it deals 3 damage. It's going to deal. It's 7 hits to win with the damage. 10 hits to win with the poison.
Right, that's true.
Because it has to attack and is not blocked. You have to take the. I guess you don't have to take the damage. I guess if someone's like got constant miss combo, you're still gonna lose to the poison. I guess
if you had to proliferate. I mean, I actually saw this and I was like, a badass art, and I was like, this card doesn't look that bad, but I didn't think it through. You're totally right. There's nothing. It's just basically a 3/3 unless you have something else that can give poison or proliferate.
Yeah.
And maybe if nothing else, this is my weird 690 cards that make me laugh.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, you're right. The art is pretty badass. It absolutely belongs on the side of an Econoline van.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Thanks, ManaDad, for joining us today. This was a fantastic chat.
Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
I want to recommend to everybody that just read through this list. We'll post a link.
Please do, yeah.
It's just a great way to spend 15 minutes just reading through cards that you would never believe are real.
And just trying to figure out what were they thinking when they made this card. Yeah, I definitely want to play this cube. I already enjoy cubes, and this has made my love of cubes go up even a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's not power crept. It's the opposite of power crept.
Yeah, depower crept.
It's
power slept.
There we go. Power slept. That's it.
All right, well, that's another episode from us, Untapped Libraries. You can find us on Blue Sky and YouTube as Untapped Libraries, as well as on Moxfield, where all of our guest deck lists are available, and as well as a link to the Cube Cobra list for this one. Our music is by Sparkling Water. You can find all of their music wherever you get your streams. Untapped Libraries is a proud part of the Podcavern network found at podcavern.com. If you have any questions, comments, or terrible, terrible cards, or you would like a token,
Oh, yeah.
we can be reached at untapplibraries@gmail.com. I meant it. We will mail you a real token if you send us an email requesting one. So thanks for listening, and keep building.
Hello, folks. I'm Katie,
I'm Vinny.
and we host the Learn Real Good podcast.
It's a comedy podcast about science.
It's also a science podcast with comedy,
Each episode, we interview a science grad student about their research.
and we keep it casual so you don't need to be a nerd to follow along.
We also share some of the latest science news.
I think you mean the latest science news.
Well, people need to hear more about amphibians.
I agree with that. So look us up on your favorite podcast source and
Learn real good. Presented by the Podcavern Network.
Close enough.